This story you're about to see is heartbreaking. It involves the immense pain and loss many Native American families across the country face in their uphill battle for justice. But the family we spoke with said it's important you see and understand that pain, because it might be what finally allows for change.
There's a dichotomy that swirls among the chilling winds that scrape the ground of rural Wyoming. Desolate yet gorgeous. Sprawling yet intimate.
Soul, moans, deep swan song, blue farewell of a dying dream. It's just saying a dying dream, and it made sense to me.
Poetry to a man whom poetry means more than most of us could ever know.
This poetry that makes no sense, I mean, it's starting to make sense to me now, because every time I open this book now, I can feel her emotions and her feelings, and, just, I can feel her. It might sound corny, but, I feel her in this book.
In 2012, Greg Day's daughter, Dawn, was found motionless in a lake on the Wind River Reservation.
She made these, when she was in junior high, and she evolved into stuff like this,
An aspiring poet, a mother of three, and a shining light to those who knew her, Dawn's death was classified as unknown by authorities because the autopsy revealed more than one possible cause.
There's my son, Jeffrey.
4 years later, authorities found the body of Greg's son, Jeffrey, in a waterway as well. Both were 28 at the time of their death, and both the causes are still listed as unknown.
She could walk into a room, and if you were feeling bad, she'd have you laughing and, make you feel good, she just, same way with her brother, they both had that same personality, This world deserved my two kids, but it did not deserve me. But I'm here, and I'm going to fight for them.
It's a problem that pervades Native American communities nationwide. Native Americans are murdered at rates 10 times the national average, yet they are underreported in data due to issues like Greg's. In 2018, a report by the Urban Indian Health Institute found law enforcement agencies weren't always collecting the race and ethnicity of victims, and if it was unknown, the race and ethnicity would sometimes default to white.
In the last, 60 days, the group is up 579%.
It's made it more difficult for people like Desiree Tinoco, who is also part Native, to advocate for change.
The biggest problem is reservations are like a different country. There's no real control the government has, for good reason. But when someone does go missing from the res, it's hard to get that information.
In 2019, the stay-at-home mom launched a missing persons Facebook page for Wyoming, as it's one of 13 states without a comprehensive statewide database. She's also part of the state's newly formed Missing and Murdered Unit task force set up to tackle the issue. She says oftentimes bias and prejudice are the cause for underreporting, whether that's classifying the victim as the proper race or ethnicity or listing a cause of death.
When the reservations do reach out for help, it seems to almost work against them. There's a lot of backlash, there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of victim blaming, and instead of trying to understand tribes and how they do what they do, there's a lot of blaming that happens.
On a large scale, the issue can lead to further feelings of disenfranchisement and hopelessness within Native communities.
She's a real good kid, man.
But on a more personal scale, it leaves loved ones without closure or justice. 6 months ago, Greg started the Dawn and Jeff I Won't Be Silent Foundation to help fight for the 31 other families on the Wind River Reservation who miss their loved ones daily.
On Father's Day, right at midnight, she'd call me, "Happy Father's Day." And I still stay up till midnight, waiting for that call. It's hard, sometimes. It might sound stupid, but, that was us. When we meet, sometimes, talk over problems and stuff. Wendy's was our place, and I haven't been in there since 2012. One day I'm going to go in there, face my fears.
The land here might offer competing feelings of loneliness and awe, but those who have called it home for generations know it's representative of something larger than them.
You got to keep going, find justice for not just you kids, but for all of them. So, you know, I do it for my mom and for my family and for the love of my people on both sides.
Dan Grossman, Scripps News, Riverton, Wyoming.